Morning, we are separating fact from fiction after the second Democratic debate in downtown Detroit. 7 Action News reporter Matthew Smith teaming up with PolitiFact to put the candidates' statements under a microscope. And he joins us live from the Fox Theater this morning. And Matthew, what'd you find out?
Well, stop me if you heard this one before, but health care, the debate around it, it was important in the second night of the debates. And this time we're going to talk about Kamala Harris because she was taking on a lot of attacks for her plan, a evolution to Medicare for all. And many pointing out that she had an evolution to how she got to that plan in the first place. But this time she went on the attack against the former Vice President Joe Biden. Let's take a look at the tape.
I'm going to go back to Vice President Biden because your plan does not cover everyone in America by your staff's and your own definition. 10 million people, as many as 10 million people, will not have access to health care.
That $10 million number, that 10 million person number, I should say, sounds shocking, but it is based on Biden's own campaign. They say the plan would cover 97% of Americans. Based on that, Harris's math came to just under 10 million uninsured people. So these are pretty rough estimates, and the numbers do need more scrutiny, according to our friends over at PolitiFact, but it appears to be mostly true. And let's stick with healthcare because, as I stated, there were a lot of attacks about this. And in this case, we want to talk about Michael Bennett, who was trying to make a name for himself, this time attacking Kamala Harris's health plan.
I believe we should finish the job we started with the Affordable Care Act with a public option that gives everybody in this audience the chance to pick for their family whether they want private insurance or public insurance. It requires the drug companies to be negotiated with by Medicare, and it provides competition. That is totally different from the plan that Senator Warren and Senator Sanders and Senator Harris have proposed, which would make illegal employer-based health insurance in this country.
Now, this one is a bit all over the place, so stick with me here. But after looking it over, the PolitiFact would say that this is half true. The claim that Harris's plan would eliminate employer insurance plans, check out. But there's issues with the statement overall. To start with, Harris's plan is a far cry from the type of Medicare for all plan that we've heard about from candidates like Warren and Sanders. And Harris's plan does have a role for some forms of private insurance down the line. And finally, let's take a look at Joe Biden. He was going back and forth with Cory Booker, and in this case, we heard Joe Biden attack the time that Cory Booker spent as mayor of Newark.
The Justice Department came after you for saying you were engaging in behavior that was inappropriate, and then, in fact, nothing happened the entire time you were mayor.
This attack on Booker doesn't tell the whole story. Booker became mayor of Newark in '06. At the time, he inherited a city mired in decades of violent crime and a troubled police department. The Department of Justice did, in fact, investigate the police and found all sorts of issues like excessive force. But Booker brought new reform, so PolitiFact says it's misleading. We'll go with mostly false. Now, this is just some of the fact-checking that we've done over the course of 2 days. We've been working with PolitiFact, separating that fact from fiction, as we like to say. We've got more information at WXYZ.com, including debriefs from the folks over at PolitiFact. We've been talking with them at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You can find it all online right now, so you get a better idea of not only what the candidates said, but what really happened. We're live in Detroit, outside the Fox Theater. I'm Matthew Smith, 7 Action News.